Hey, Peter. Last time on Dock of Shame.
Which is the Halo thing.
Yeah, I know a lot of Halo fans out there are hurting right now, but just know that Halo has shown up somewhere, and that is a 2007 cartoon.
And the food is garbage.
Yeah,
That banana peel did look pretty good, though.
Well, come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's just my hat.
It's my hat.
I thought it looked cool, and I accidentally glued it to my head.
Welcome, campers, to the Dock of Shame podcast. My name is Matt, and joined with me, as always, are...
My name is Chris, but first...
Did Chris go silent, or did he say something? Because it is just silent on my end.
I just went silent. You go.
Oh my fucking god. I've never in my life had more fucking anxiety.
I'm turning mind games on you guys now.
My name is Matt Walsh. Oh, my neck. Oh, just kidding. That was a potato chip. You've been fooled.
What?
Whipping food with forced Twitter. I'm Gabe, and I'm like, my patience is running so very thin because of Matt Walsh and Matt and Go Cubs, whatever you want to be freaking called.
I mean, you can call me Matt.
Matt
That's
and Matt.
fine.
The Mats are in cahoots.
We have been over this. This podcast is confusing because two of the hosts are named Matt, and another host is named Chris, which is also the host of the fictional show that we're talking about.
Gabe, I'm so glad that your name is Gabe.
No one else has it.
No one else has it. There's no contestant named Gabe. You stand
Is there?
out.
In one of the later versions?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I'm
Maybe
special.
redonkulous, but...
Splash.
Anyways, today we are talking about the final episode before the merge.
Yay!
We made it. Halfway point of the show right here.
I am ready to merge, Father.
Oh,
Don't say it like that.
no.
I am ready to merge, Daddy.
No.
That's not the
No.
thing I was objecting to, but it's fine.
That's like that improv game where you just like where there's someone to say it again, but like rephrase it. It's like from like whose line is it anyway?
Today's episode that we will be talking about is called Extreme Torture. And you know it's extreme because it's spelled with an X at the beginning of the word.
I thought it was extreme. Like they were gonna. I don't know what I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Sounds like a total Drama-Rama title.
Yeah, like
Extreme torture.
Extreme is it's just
that chicken comes back.
Actually, I'm sorry. We're gonna break order here a little. I was looking for episodes, and there is an episode, season 2, called "An Egg-Streamly Bad Idea."
Oh, boom! Gabe was
Okay.
on something.
So there you go.
Gabe.
I don't know what I'm on.
It's
It's just bad.
All right, that's your foreshadowing. That is now our total Drama-Rama for the end of this episode.
All right, there you go.
Okay,
I'm sorry for spoiling
I'm
it.
glad that. I'm glad that this episode preview exists, and that we did these two, the last episode and this episode in the same recording session, because it answers some questions that we've had. So Chris absolutely knows that Harold got into the ballot box, switched the votes, Courtney is now gone. He knows that, and he's okay with it. But, at the same time, he goes to Harold, he mentions that Harold did this to get back at his bully. And Chris is just like, just let bullies be bullies. Just let them do their thing. And it's... I can't I can't put into words how I feel about this. It's just odd. It is a weird, like.
Well, that's a weird thing to say. Like, let boys be boys.
Thing.
Yeah, let's inflict trauma on kids and let it just happen.
Let's let these caricatures just be the caricatures and don't question it.
What did he compared it to himself? I think. I don't remember completely though.
He compared it to some other things. It was like let birds fly or some shit like that. I forget what exactly.
Birds are gonna fly. Bullies are gonna bully.
Yeah, that was basically it.
Yeah,
something like that.
And if we know anything about Chris McClain, he has the greatest moral compass that we've seen ever in a cartoon character.
Compass.
I was about to say that too.
Sorry.
Is it the way I pronounced it?
Yes.
Yeah. It was compass.
It's accents. Everything.
Yep.
Moral compass.
Moral campus.
Campus. He also mentions before that Lashana won her stripes in the challenge. She didn't though. It was Gwen who won it.
Yeah, like that. Like Lashana wasn't even really in this episode. In the last episode.
No.
Quick pop quiz. We literally just recorded the last episode. In what part of the boot camp challenge did Lashana get eliminated in?
Ooh.
She didn't.
Because I don't remember.
Probably the obstacle course. They just didn't
Probably.
show any eliminations, like, at all.
Yeah.
Unless was she on the tree? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
I think that whole I stand by my comments from last episode. I thought that challenge was a mess in a lot of ways.
So Chris being like, Lashana really earned her stripes. I was like, a Lashana episode, huh?
We get a 3D shot once more of the camp. Another one of these, and this one looked very barren and weirdly arranged. Like arranged differently than how it usually is.
They just want to flaunt their budget.
I think
they just want to flaunt their budget.
It looked exactly the same as the other 3D shots. It's
Yeah,
so bizarre.
I
was so curious when and if they were going to bring it back. And this is the third time we've seen them use a 3D shot in the series, and it's the second episode that they've used one, and this is the only 3D shot they use in this episode.
Yeah, I think it's like the same establishment shot. I didn't really think much of it. Like I didn't think it was bad. I just thought like, oh, okay, they're establishing the scene. Like it's at Camp Wanakwa. It'd be weird if they establish a scene and it's like fucking Manhattan or something. Like it's just they just cut to a whole new world.
Chris McClain takes Manhattan.
That's the spin-off. I don't know if anyone necessarily wants, but it's what we're gonna get.
It's what we need.
I also wanted to point out something too, that like Chris, like during the recap, I think right before the theme song, is just like chill. Like he goes from standing on the deck to just chilling in a lounge chair on the deck, which we have not seen before.
Yes. We get some establishing shots of like the island like starting to wake up. There's a bear who we see multiple times throughout this episode who's like sneaking into the marshmallows. Owen is snoozing with candy wrappers, like chocolate on his face, and like he's doing the snoring thing, the blowing the wrappers in the air, coming back down. Duncan's listening to headphones, all stuff like that. And then Chris comes in the airplane.
At first I was like, oh my god, how can you sleep like that? But then I realized I make my room like a wind tunnel when I sleep, so I was like, you know what, I get
True.
it. I understand.
Yeah.
Harold's sucking his thumb.
Yeah.
Harold's sucking his thumb. Chris comes down in an airplane, which wakes everyone up. He's in that Star Wars uniform again. Almost like runs into everyone, and then makes the comment, "I can't wait to get my pilot's license." So
Chris in this scene, observant viewers might notice that this outfit that Chris is wearing is a reference to a small indie movie called Star Wars. But yeah, he's dressed as Luke, like flying the flying whatever fucking I don't remember
X-wing.
what fucking
It's the X-wing.
It's the X-wing.
I was about to call it a TIE fighter, and then I didn't want to get it wrong.
That's the Darth Vader one. That's the one that's
the one that goes.
Have you ever played Lego Star Wars?
I have, and it's good. And I had one game that had the original trilogy on it, and I had another game that had the prequel trilogy on it, and they were both for the Xbox, and then they released the game that had all 6 episodes of Lego Star Wars on it, when there was really no difference between it, and my mom would not buy it for me because I already had the other 2 trilogies, and I pretty much already had the game, but on 2 different games, and I just wanted it as one.
Wow, that took a very dark turn.
Chris decides to introduce the challenge as the Extreme Sports Challenge, which is made up of 3 parts.
Okay, you can finish what you were gonna say.
Just Gwen mentions that it's too early for this, which I think he wakes them up like that all the time.
I don't know about you guys, but I felt like when I heard this initially, I was just like, hasn't this been like 3 challenges already? Like some sort of variation of this already in terms of like doing something extreme.
The trust exercises were a little bit like this.
Yeah. They
kind of same formula.
Just rebranding it as like, oh no, this is not the trust exercise. This is an extreme challenge.
Right.
It's not a bad challenge. I thought it was funny.
No, they're different enough. But we've done this like formula before.
Yeah.
So, the first challenge we get introduced to is the Extreme Sofa Bed Skydiving, which is just skydiving, but they have to land on a sofa bed, the bed you pull out of a sofa. Chef demonstrates from, like, a height of, like, 8 feet, and gets fucking crushed in the sofa.
Love it.
Which is, like, so, we were talking about Star Wars, there's a theory with Star Wars Episode 7 that, like, all throughout, they talk about how, and if you haven't seen this by now, I'm gonna spoil something, it's fine. Han Solo talks all throughout about how Chewie's blaster is amazing, how it like, kills everything, like, on sight, and is so fucking effective. And then later on, when Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, Chewbacca fires at Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren is able to, get hit, and has the willpower to like stave it off, despite them talking about how powerful it was throughout all this. Chef is the laser, and the sofa bed is Kylo Ren. We have seen Chef do like extreme physical things and be like this super tough guy, and he is just mangled by this bed.
That was a very specific, like, reference, but I'm okay with it.
That's fine.
Everything Star Wars goes over my head, so I can't really confirm or deny if it's good or not.
It's like
I can direct you to the good Star Wars shit.
It's like one of those like walls of text memes where it's like shirtless Kylo Ren in the background.
Oh, it's Chef in like his bathing suit. Like with like the little rubber like tube around his waist.
Floaty. Yeah. Chris gives out the parachutes. Moths have eaten the parachutes. And we learn that Trent and DJ are going to be the 2 skydiving here.
Of course. The scaredy cat and the injury prone.
I hope nothing happens to them.
The next challenge we get introduced to is the Extreme Rodeo Moose Riding, which is exactly what it sounds like. They have to ride a moose for as long as possible. It says 8 seconds, but it's basically like whoever lasts the longest. And Lashana and Jeff get to do it this time.
I wrote down in my notes, moose are fucking scary.
It's actually meese.
Moose are terrifying. It's not.
Geese?
It's meese.
No, it's like a cactus, it's mice.
Moosin.
Moosin.
There's a flock of them in the woodsin.
Flock?
A flock of moose just flying. Through this point, I was like, man, I have no memory of this challenge until the third challenge.
The third challenge, which is Extreme Sea-Doo Water Skiing, which Sea-Doo I looked up, it's a type of jet ski.
Yeah, I guess I missed that. I was looking through the notes, and I saw a little bit farther down, in all caps once we get there, Extreme Sea-Doo Water Skiing, and I was like, what the fuck is a Sea-Doo?
I was thinking the same thing. I had to rewind and put on subtitles to figure out what he was saying.
It's like, what is Sea-Doo, though? Is it just mud?
It's a jet ski.
It's a jet ski.
Oh, it's just a jet. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's what they call it in the north.
I guess, yeah.
Or it's just another word for it.
Right. So it might be a specific brand too. I don't know.
Yes,
but Chef
is a Canadian brand of personal watercraft.
There you go. Chef demonstrates, goes off of a rock again and runs into a tree. So Chef is getting the butt of the joke this time, after being the one hosting the challenge last week.
Love it.
Yeah, fall from grace.
Yeah. We learn here that Harold and Lindsay are the ones who are going to ski. The winners also get to shower.
Wait.
Which is
so
a very fun fact.
But they have showers.
What?
They have showers.
Really nice showers.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Like
premium, like fucking spa showers.
Yeah, like not just like water and soap.
Questionable water supply versus
Yes.
really nice clean water.
Really fucking pristine shit.
Yeah, with filters.
The Gophers are talking about a little bit. Owen starts choking on a marshmallow. Heather runs away. Harold hits the marshmallow. Harold hits the marshmallow out of Owen, and it hits Heather, knocks her down.
A very satisfying moment, but I also found it very interesting how Heather had the intuition to run.
Yes.
Because she knew that the marshmallow was coming projectile and was going to come right to her, and boy, was she ran.
Exactly. So we get into the mess hall. Owen has eaten all of the food, including a plate that has a letter on it. And Gwen and Bridget notice it, and Gwen and Bridget don't compete in the challenge this episode. So this is what they're doing. They see the love letter, and they're like, oh, it must be for you. Like Jeff is such a nice guy, or like Trent is such a nice guy. And then they're talking, and then Gwen mentions that she doesn't think that Jeff could pronounce haiku. And then they argue, and now they want it to be for themselves. So their plot this episode is they want to prove that their guy is the one who wrote this love letter, and it's for them.
Have these two ever interacted?
Yeah, like I felt like this entire sequence was very strange. Like it was just it's a very weird. I get it, I understand why, and I understand the like progression of it, but the whole thing felt very strange.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like they've never actually had any bad blood against each other, right?
No.
Based off of the conversation, it was they were friends, and then they turned enemies real fucking quick.
I assume they've talked to each other before. It's just that like they're on different teams, so that we don't see them interacting much at all.
Yeah.
As they're getting ready for the first challenge, which is the extreme sofa bed skydiving. I'm gonna say extreme like that the entire podcast, just so you know.
That's fine. I'm used to it.
Heather's drawn a chalk outline on the ground because she wants to intimidate Trent because they're on the same team, I guess, or she just is. This is just the one dig they get. Because Heather hasn't done anything mean in a while, so she has to get that in. Gwen tries to, like, nudge Trent to see if, like, he's into haikus, and it fails spectacularly.
She was really on the nose about it.
Yeah.
Like, I forget what the line was, but it was, like, along the lines of, yeah, it's a way of expressing love, like a haiku. And people were, like, everyone just stared at her, just like,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, hold on. I don't know where this is. Because I'm just looking through my notes. Hold on. This is before they jump out of the plane. Never mind.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
Yep. Sorry. So I just wrote down a very vague note, and I could not read it.
Okay.
And understand.
Fair enough.
They get up on the plane. Jeff and DJ, DJ and Trent do, and Chris is like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you guys to sign these forms real quick." And they were like, "But we already signed waivers, like, at the start of the show." It's like, "No, these are organ donation forms. There's a cannibal challenge that I want to pitch to the producers, and this would save money on organs."
I
wrote down cannibal challenge, and I couldn't remember where the fuck that was.
I missed that completely. I don't know. I guess
Oh my
I
God.
tuned it out. My God,
Chris, how do you miss something that big?
I don't know. I think
There's a lot of plane noise going on, you know.
there was a lot. This episode just had a lot. I think I was probably writing down notes still about the Gwen and Bridget thing. I guess, my God, though, wow, that's this is when the show gets really. I mean, it's already kind of dark, but that's like where it got really dark.
I love this shit.
Edgy.
Yeah,
Well, that's gonna provoke a lot of angry emails.
Here you go.
All right. They notice that they can't see the drop zone. DJ and Trent can't. We cut to the Gophers, and the Gophers are having trouble pushing the couch, and I wonder why that is. Oh, Owen is napping on it, and they can't move him.
Haha, funny fat man.
So Heather just decides to paint an X on his butt.
This pisses me off. This whole sequence just pisses me off. Like, what? Owen, fuck off, Owen. They were just like, yeah, let's. How do we hinder the situation? Okay, let's just insert Owen into this and make his character even worse.
Yeah.
It is no, it's funny. He's funny,
It's
big
funny.
fat man.
It's funny because he's fat.
Yep.
DJ.
Fuck off, TDI.
DJ, in trying to encourage Trent, pats him on the back, and he's like, "I'm sure he'll hit the mattress," but as a result, Trent is plummeting towards the earth. So, like, you know how sand acts?
I know exactly where you're going with this.
So you know how sand, like, if you, like, take a scoop of sand out, it you know, like, fills in where you took the scoop out. Mm-hmm. Trent hits the ground with so much force that he indents the sand. The sand that is basically a liquid.
I think I get my favorite line of the episode here. Where Gwen with a voice crack is just Trent.
There's one later that Gwen has that I fucking love. We'll get to that. DJ also screws up jumping out. Because he is he pulls the wrong cords for his parachute and is freaking out. Ends up being okay. Ends up getting the parachute out, but freaking out in the air.
One thing.
Yes.
Why the fuck did Trent not even attempt to pull out the parachute?
That's a good question.
That is a great
That's a question I thought about.
Like, I think
caught off guard from being pushed, maybe.
I think that Trent is beginning to like the pain.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I had like a 50% feeling in my gut that that's where you were going with that.
What was the other 50%?
No, I don't mean it in like a kinky way. I just mean that he's just accepting it at this point. Like he's just like, yeah, whatever. This is just my shtick. This is my only role on the show at this point, outside of being like Gwen's side boy. You know?
Yeah. Bridget is trying to talk to Jeff about this haiku thing, and she's like, what's something romantic? And Jeff's like, writing someone's name in the snow with your pee. And then he's like, I've got a tattoo on my butt, you want to see?
Isn't he like 16?
Well, because she's like, it's more like the written word.
It's more like written word. Oh, you mean like the tattoo I have on my butt?
How does he have a tattoo at 16?
You can you can get it with parent permission. B, it may be different in Canada.
Man, you have this knowledge. Oh, I was gonna say, like, I was like, man, you know Canadian tattoo laws. You have a lot of time on your hands.
U.S. I'm pretty sure you can get it if you have parent permission and you're not 18.
Yes. Okay.
And it's also Canada, so it may be different.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to give my 5-year-old a tattoo.
Yeah, just the skull, please. I want a big old smiley face. Thanks.
There was did any of you ever read the Wayside School books?
I have.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember. One kid got a tattoo, and he was talking to like the whole class about what to get.
Yeah, and it was a fucking potato.
Yeah, that's what he got.
On his foot. I don't know. Those books were weird. There was longest.
That was one of my favorite chapters. The
longest running gag in the book was first the school is stupid because they're like, oh, the contractors messed up, because they were like, oh, it's supposed to be 30 classrooms on one floor, but then it was like, oh, it's one floor on the 30 floors with one classroom on each floor. And then the principal, like, his big deal was like, okay, we got to prevent people from running the stairs, so everyone walk on the right as you go up and walk on the left as you go down.
Okay, about those books, one of them scarred me as a child.
Which one?
It was the one with the dead rat in, like, the trench coat.
I don't remember that one.
It's like...
Was that something on, like, the 13th floor?
I have no idea. Like, it's been a long time since I've read it, but, like, it was this chapter of a really smelly thing inside a trench coat inside the classroom, and they had to pull several, like tens of layers of clothes off of it, and then it ends up being a dead rat in disguise, and they just throw it out the window. I'm just like, what the fuck?
No, I'm sorry, books were great, and even the cartoon series was great.
I enjoyed the cartoon as well.
And if not even, I already loved it, but I think the thing that really put me over the top with the books is there were not one, not two, but 3 characters named Matt that always had to deal with, like, being confused for one another, and I really fucking felt with that.
I don't remember that, and that makes me upset because I would have related so goddamn hard.
Yeah, there were 3 characters named Matt, but there was also, like, other wacky stuff. Like, there was the one kid who, like, walked on his hands and was always upside down. There was the one kid. I think the one that always stuck with me was there was the one chapter where there was the kid who was very bad at math, and the teacher kept him, like, inside to talk about, like, you know, how like he was counting. So she'd hold up, I don't know, like 4 fingers, and he'd be like 1, 5, 7, 4. And it was like he'd always get the number right, but he'd always count wrong.
It was so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So DJ's parachute works, going back to the show.
Yeah, okay,
DJ's parachute works. He lands on the sofa bed, totally fine, and then the bed retracts and he gets pulled up into it, and the bastards kind of whistle and walk away.
I kind of love it initially cut away with him pulling out both things, and it does not pop out, and then we just think that that's going to be the issue with him, and then the issue is not with the parachute, because then it eventually it comes out in it cuts back, but it's the couch that's the problem. I like how they presented one issue, but then it was an entirely different one that was the issue that ended up screwing over DJ's body.
Yep. We get Trent in his second full body cast of the show's run. His second full body cast. And they're talking, and Gwen goes up to him, and she's like, do you have anything else you want to say before they take you to get reboned? And that is my favorite fucking line of this episode.
Trent gets reboned every episode by the fucking
it's
writers.
Like, I just picture that this show, if anything they do to these characters, is either they fully recover, which is basically what happens every time, but before they do, every bone in their body shatters like it just like rips apart like fucking paper.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
damn. Cody wanted to brag about being a quick healer. Look at Trent.
Hell yeah.
Between episodes.
Yeah, he has to heal in time for him to get in the next accident.
If that ain't a metaphor for something.
I can think of plenty.
Gwen and Bridget are still at each other. We get to cut to the next challenge, the X-TREME Moose Rodeo. And Jeff was like, oh yeah, I was going to show you the tattoo. So he pulls his pants down while he's on the moose and is riding the moose without pants.
What's so uncomfortable is he's just, like, standing straight up.
Kind of.
On the moose.
Yeah.
He's just on model standing on the moose.
Yeah, and he lands in the dirty socks that were there that the moose was supposed to buck them into. And he comes up and he's got a sock in his mouth and it's really gross and he smells bad. But Chris decides to do another slow motion thing. Not because of the cool action or anything, but because he's talking about how bad his hair and makeup looks in this particular shot.
I wrote Chris pauses and Cusco's.
It totally does.
And we just see Jeff, half naked, basically, be flying across the screen.
Yep.
It's definitely a highlight of the show to me, because I think it shows it definitely, it's a great highlight for Chris as a character, in terms of how conceited he is, but also but you also I do think though that you could say it's both, but there's a part of me that feels like he didn't care about his hair or makeup, he just wanted to show the scene again. I don't know. It could be. I think it definitely could be both, though.
Yeah. Right. Lashana Red's next. She mentions like making moose burgers or something. The moose gets fucking furious.
Yeah, she's trying to talk shit, and he doesn't want any of it.
Yep. But she hangs on, and she hangs on throughout a lot of this. The girls, girls being Gwen and Bridget, can start arguing again, and then they realize that probably neither one of them wrote this note.
And they hug and forgive each other real quick.
Yeah. Lashana's in the back. She tramples the bear's marshmallows, and the bear looks really sad. But what is interesting to note here is that it's Lashana going in the background of the scene, and they're like, "Well, I wonder who this note was written for."
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I think this is where I felt like, man, they had this whole sequence of Gwen and Bridget trying to figure out if their guys were the ones that wrote this haiku. I thought I felt like it would have been more fun to have it been that they were both trying to investigate the other guys the entire time, because they kind of focused on Owen and DJ later, which we'll get to in a second. But I don't know. I felt like it would have been. It felt like just very weird for them to have an all-out war and then forgive each other in within 5 or 10 minutes of the episode, and then now they're in the mission of, okay, let's talk to guys. I think, I don't know, was the anger necessary, I guess, in the storyline? That's, I guess, where I felt weird about it.
Personally,
yeah, that's
personally, I think it was a bit of foreshadowing to the next episode.
Okay.
You watched that episode. I have not. You could absolutely be right. But yeah, maybe that's what we're waiting for.
It has been a while since I've seen that episode, so
yeah, I have to refresh myself.
That concept is a central theme of the next episode, so it's just something to keep in mind.
All right, so then maybe it'll then make a lot more sense to me. In the moment, I was just kind of it's a little drama for the sake of drama.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we get a couple weird cuts. There's a cut to the challenge itself now in this mud pit with a bunch of flags everywhere. We learned that Duncan will be driving for the Bass, driving Lindsay around trying to trip her up so that she doesn't grab any flags, and Heather will be driving Harold around trying to trip him up. They're trying to. Then it's a cut back again to Gwen and Bridget trying to figure out who did who wrote the letter. And they were like, okay, so it's not Trent or Jeff. Duncan had a thing for Courtney, so it's not him. And then so that leaves DJ, Owen, and Harold. And then Harold opens the bathroom after his confessional, and he's like, "Ladies," and then trips over himself.
Oh my god, that was so fucking funny.
Yeah,
I actually audibly laughed because Harold's in the bathroom and he's like, "This is my moment. This is where I prove that I'm not a loser. Goodbye wedgies, wet willies. Winning is just inevitable."
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And he's just going on about that, and he puts on these sunglasses too to add to it, and then they're like, okay, well, let's go through the candidates. Duncan, Harold, DJ, Owen. Duncan was crushing on Courtney, so he's out, and then Harold with the sunglasses on, pants still down, in his underwear, goes, "Ladies," and then steps and then eats shit.
I didn't fully get that scene.
The thing is, his voice is significantly deeper when he says "ladies."
Oh my god, it is incredible. I don't think there's anything funnier than the the ladies thing used, like, ironically or as a joke in Harold's case.
There's something. It's very ridiculous. Like, if you say that, and something ridiculous happens to you, I will most likely laugh at you.
Yes.
like consistent basis.
We're back to the challenge. Chris mentions, "Here's the road rules. There are no rules." Bridget tries asking DJ about it, and he's like, "Ask any innocuous questions lately?"
Yeah, no,
Totally.
I actually wrote it down. Yeah, he was like, "Ask any arbitrary left field questions lately?"
Yeah.
that had me dead too.
Yeah, that's great.
That was a wonderful moment.
TJ's awesome.
For the second, first off, Heather is driving around Harold on this, and Harold gets another mouthful of mud for the second episode in a row. But he's still able to get the flags, and he does really well while grabbing them. It gets to the point where he gets 5 flags, which is probably the most. I think the most.
Yeah.
And Heather's freaking out, and Chris points out, after saying that there are no rules, but then says a rule, Heather has to cross the finish line. In this, so she decides that she's going to try to cut Harold loose from her jet ski.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the fucking sigh. The fucking sigh.
A tree decided to get really horny.
Scene is the most probably infamous, maybe, in the entire show.
Yep.
Because it's when a tree branch takes off Heather's top, and we see her censored bare chest. And I will leave it at that.
We don't have to go into deeper into that. Yeah. No, I can't really say much about it.
Yep. Harold is distracted by it. Surprise. Slams into a rock. And then, so this is when Heather also, like, hits a rock. She like, flies through the air, lands on the bear who's upset about the marshmallows, which is, like, haha, funny. And then Harold's like, booyah, in the, while on the rock. Heather doesn't, they do not physically show Heather crossing the finish line.
Yes.
After saying that you have to do this, they do not physically show Heather crossing the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
So just putting that out there for something later. And that's when Chris says, "It's a total wipeout for the Bass. What about the Gophers? What about Heather?"
Heather didn't do shit.
And the thing is, at this point, it's a mystery to everyone what happened to Harold. Why Harold messed up.
No one else saw that?
Yeah, like, that's so bizarre.
No, in this moment, in the fiction of the show, at this moment, no one except Harold and I guess the cameras saw that.
Which like, in any other reality show, I understand it's a cartoon, but,
Yeah.
like, in any other reality show, like, you're like, okay, let's roll back the tape, and they would see what happens. And, like,
Right.
I don't know. It was a very strange transition moment. Regardless of our thoughts on what happened here, I really missed the fact that Harold didn't say when he was in a trance against the rocks, boobies, which I thought was very funny at the time.
It's weird though, because, like, he doesn't say it here.
He doesn't say it
and
here. He doesn't say
it here. In the censored version.
In the censored version, right? It happens in the actual version.
They still say the word later,
yes.
So I don't understand why this one in particular was censored.
Yeah, I don't understand. I thought that was funny.
I get it. Yeah. This is the other than maybe the next episode. This is the weirdest censorship, in the show.
Right.
We get a quick scene of Gwen trying to figure out Owen. She's like, "Is there anyone you'd want to shower for?" And then Owen's like, "Why would I need to shower?" And then burps into her face. Cool.
Big stinky.
Big stinky fat joke. Yay, wee.
Uh-oh.
Gwen,
fat people are gross.
Duncan is now on. I was trying to find the right name. Duncan is now doing Lindsay around. I hate how that word. And Lindsay is despite Duncan's best efforts and like hitting the thing to try to get her to jump. Lindsay is graceful as fuck, picks up all the flags, no fucking problem. And Duncan can't do anything to stop her. And then he all of a sudden just lets go, hits a rock, and flies into a tree. And Lindsay crosses the finish line, and she wins.
She just wanted to show off her swimsuit. Like, that's it.
Lindsay's the only one that crosses the finish line.
She's the only one that crosses the finish line. And even Chris goes like, she won? Before he announces that the Gophers won.
Well, after Duncan hits the rock, too, he flies into a tree.
Yes. And then Lindsay going by says, sorry about that, Doug.
I also I love that this is the moment that Lindsay came out as like the comp beast because she really wants the shower.
Oh my yes, yeah. That was why she really won this.
I don't think so. I agree with Gabe that she just wanted to show off her swimsuit.
No, she says that I really needed that shower.
Yeah, she actually says that on the way to after she says Doug. After she mentions Doug. Oh,
okay. I did want to point out though, before we go too far, because I'm looking back through the scene. The second after Harold hits the rock, Chris considers them like it's a total wipeout. Harold goes with his like puppy dog eyes, boobies. The rest of his team actually reacts immediately. Some facepalm. Jeff gives like a thumbs down.
Yes, they do. They do react. Did you watch the Netflix version?
I think I did. I did. Yeah.
Okay, because that he says "booyah" there.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm rewatching it on YouTube with like out any volume, and you can read his lips, and they say boobies.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, but like.
Although, actually, never mind. They might just be reacting to Chris's announcement, so never mind. I could be wrong.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I didn't like. Then if they're actually reacting to the moment, then it makes absolutely no sense that no one knows what happens in that scene.
Right. Yeah. We get a quick confessional with Jeff, where he's like, "I don't smell that bad, do I?" And then all the flies that are like part of the confessional scene just drop dead, which is a wonderful visual gag. Gwen and Bridget are then at a picnic table, and Lashana walks by and picks up the note.
Real fucking quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
There is a moment, and I'm now forgetting it because it's been a little bit since I actually saw the episode. Owen is standing somewhere outside the shower.
Yes,
and he is covered in like white goop.
It's suds.
It's Chris. Just suds, right? Okay.
It's suds.
But like, what the fuck?
He's covered with suds, and he's standing next to body cast Trent.
He is bent over, looking down at over Trent.
Like, what the fuck is that? What is that moment? That is so strange. Like, there's so much going on there. Like, why did Owen just run in with his clothes on? Why is he just staring at Trent?
And then he's talking to Trent, and he's like, "What's up with chicks in showers?"
Yeah.
So weird.
So we find out that Lashana's the one who the notes have been writing for, and Chris comes by and he's like, "Oh, is that another one of your notes from your secret admirers?" And this is another censorship that I'm actually okay with. Like, most of the censorship of the show is dumb, I think. But the line here that she says is, "Do you know anyone else with a kick butt attitude like mine?"
Mm-hmm.
When she shows her butt. The original line was, "Do you know anyone else here with a booty as luscious as an apple?"
What? I understand the censorship. I fucking love that line. And I am
why?
I think that's a great line. And I wish they aired it for this and just say fuck the whatever the censorship board is, the family council.
Because when she says kick butt attitude, she turns around and shakes her ass.
Right.
So
Which is why the original one makes.
Like an apple?
Did she actually say that?
In the original version, that is what she says.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That's wonderful.
Oh my god.
I love
and
that.
Lashana's my favorite character. It's that. It's done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lashana's the best. Lashana is the best.
Great. But they still don't know who wrote it at that point. We get to the campfire ceremony, and Bridget and DJ get their marshmallows right away. And Jeff is also safe, but he's up in a tree because he stinks. That's not a censorship. He actually just stinks because of the socks.
Yes.
So it's between Harold and Duncan, and like Chris is going through his spiel, and Duncan like comes up and like almost like grabs Chris's collar and he's like threatens him, but gets the marshmallow anyway. And now Harold leaves, got everything packed up, got his piano, and is like, "Well, it's been fun, guys." And then he said, I became a man, I saw boobies.
Yeah, they didn't censor that. I guess they couldn't find a way to censor it.
There's no way to, because then the responses were like between three other people. It's, you loved, you're a man, you saw boobies. We find out Harold wrote the note for Lashana.
Yep.
They kiss, and Lashana says, "Baby, you some kind of freaky." Harold says, "Give Daddy some sugar."
That part just made me like dry heave.
I love it. I love those.
So when I was like really interested in total drama at the start of it, I would like search up all the YouTube stuff I could, and there was a video of like total drama couples, and you saw like the Jeff and Bridget and the Tyler and Lindsay stuff. I was like, oh, okay, and it got to Harold and Lashana, and I thought it was a joke.
Nope.
I didn't know what crack shipping was when I was 12, but I thought that's what that was supposed to be. It's like, nope, that's in the show. That's right there.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of very very borderline inappropriate dialogue between the two.
Right. And then we get a confessional from Chef, and Chris, you want to talk about this?
I didn't know if I didn't think it was a confessional. I thought he was on the boat when he said it, but I guess it could.
No,
be
it was a.
Oh, okay.
It was a
yeah. So essentially, someone, I think someone before the confessional was just like, I did not see that coming at all, and then it cuts to Chef saying, and I quote, "But you didn't read the letters." Like I was just like, ugh!
He included spicy.
Chris,
He's like,
Chris,
spicy.
finish it.
And then he calls him spicy.
Finish it.
I didn't get that part. It's not written here. It's not.
I didn't write that there, but he says spicy.
No, so in all, he says, "You didn't read the letters." Spicy.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, it's bad.
That
is
not good.
The next part, they thought that he had seen Lashana's. And Owen asks, "Can we see?" They're trying to figure out who it was. Heather comes out of the shower, and Lashana starts chasing her. And Gwen and Bridget just end the episode like satisfied that they figured out who it was.
That was such a very it was good, like it was a wrapped up, but I felt like it was like there was something else that was going to happen after they said night to each other, but it didn't. It just got to credits. I was just like, oh, all right, it's over.
It's like, night.
They could have had ended it with like Lashana chasing Heather into the night. Like I felt like that was a very weird scene at the end.
Yeah. What a fucking episode. My God.
Okay. Can I talk about the episode?
Yeah, go for it. Go.
This was one that I definitely missed as a kid.
Okay.
Which is wild because every fucking time I felt like between like now and later on, I mean, I eventually did see the clip, but I didn't know Heather lost her top. So, I would always see, like, YouTube thumbnails that were like, whoa, like, Total Drama Island crazy? And, like, with, like, Heather covering her boobs. And I'd be like, where did they get that? And I think the fact that, like, I never... Or, like, it'd be, like, clickbait, like, Total Drama Island uncensored version.
Oh,
but
gross.
yeah,
Yeah, like the fact that they wouldn't like that's just disgusting.
No, and I was like, where are they getting this? I just didn't like. I just missed it entirely, which I like from that kind of perspective. It was like so weird, but
Yeah.
sorry. As a whole, actually really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah. Since you kind of explained it, do you want to continue your explanation and give your rating?
Yeah, sure. In terms of rating, I mean, I thought that well, actually, before I give rating, I actually want to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, the extreme skydiving, the extreme moose riding, and the extreme jet ski. If you had to do one, which one would you do?
Extreme skydiving.
The jet ski. The jet ski.
The jet ski.
I do skydiving.
Okay.
I feel
In
like...
the
Go ahead.
in the specific skydiving setup that they had in the show with shitty plane and shitty parachutes,
Okay, I will
No.
change it that it is good plane, good parachute.
I think I would still do the jet ski.
Same.
Okay.
I feel like
I do skydiving
Well,
regardless.
Go ahead, Gabe. I think that the jet ski is like that challenge was not extreme to me, I guess.
But there was mud.
Yeah,
And
like
rocks.
Something with the motor.
like I don't like I didn't really like
And
compared to
boobies.
jumping out of a plane onto a couch bed or riding a fucking moose. That's gonna that could practically kill you if you.
Oh yeah,
For
the
the
moose
record-
is the least likely. thing I
For the
would do.
record, I'd take the moose. Because I
Really?
can
Okay.
take a moose. fuck a moose. I can take a moose.
All right,
No, you can't. But
Yes, I can.
Believe in yourself.
I have faith in Mr. Welsh.
I could fucking take
I
a
What's
moose.
just,
what's your rating, Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just curious about that because that was a question I
Okay.
had ready for you guys. I don't know unless you guys want to finish your explanations first
Well,
for that.
all I wanted to say was that I felt like the mud one was it is somewhat dangerous, but it doesn't have the risks that the other two have. So I would just go with that.
Okay.
For me, I've always wanted to go skydiving, so like that would just fulfill one of my bucket list items.
There you go. Even in this circumstance.
Hey, you know what? At least you know that if you miss, you'll survive.
Yep.
Right, you'll just be on a
You'll
body
just have
cast.
to be reboned.
Reboned, yeah.
Reboned. So as speaking of reboned, my rating for the episode, I'd probably. I think I'm gonna go. I actually really enjoyed this episode. I think I'm going to give it an 8.
Cool.
And I think it had like pretty good pacing. I thought that it wasn't like too all over the place. It had a fairly decent like A and B plot. Characters who we don't like get their comeuppance a bit. A character that we've seen kind of struggle back and forth despite despite some morally questionable things like changing the ballots. Not only like does find love but is eliminated, so still gets his own kind of punishment from last episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it felt. I think, and also just like having more of Lashana just always boosts an episode. So I think I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Cool. Chris, you can go next.
I'll go 8 as well. I really liked it. I think that like I was bringing up. I felt like some of the Gwen and Bridget bits were a bit strange. And I felt like the challenge as a whole was not like the most creative that they've done, but I felt like overall, like I think this show, like this episode, I think more than a lot of the other episodes showcased the characters in a really great way. A lot more. Like I feel like you got a little bit of everything from every single character that had some sort of impact, and I felt like the storytelling element of it was just really good throughout.
influenced by your ratings, I also gave this episode an 8. Like, really solid storytelling. It really shows the show's best qualities in terms of getting the things through that they need to get to, and kind of sets the groundwork for doing this more in the future. And I just think it's great. I have a couple things knocked down just because of a few uncomfortable bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
but
I agree with that.
overall solid episode.
Yeah.
Gabe?
I give it a 10.
Damn,
Sweet.
Nice.
That is the third perfect score of this podcast so
It's
far.
probably all three are from me.
No, 2 of them are from you. You gave the Big Sleep a 10.
And I didn't give a reason for it.
You didn't give a reason for it. By comparison, our other ratings were 5, 5, and 4. I gave a 10 to If You Can't Take the Heat. And then you gave a 10 for this one. Why is this one a 10 for you?
It's just so fucking wild, and it actually made me laugh out loud. And
Excellent.
it's just I'm kind of hard to make laugh, like, unless it's some stupid shit like the Get Stick Bug meme. But like when it comes to like television and comedy, I'm more stoic. But like this it's just funny. It's just funny to me.
It's good.
Yeah, I would give it a 10. There's there's just like the little nitpicks that really bring it down for me, but it's like one of the best episodes in the series, and that's that's from not even remembering some aspects of this episode.
Totally. All right. Any final thoughts before Matt gives us what he foreshadowed?
Brings us down to 1 ratings.
Cool.
Yeah, no,
Give us the Rama.
Okay. This is episode 56 in total, but also known as episode 5 of season 2, written by Lori Elliott. Thank you, Lori. The title of the episode is An Egg-Extremely Bad Idea. Izzy and Owen attempt to give Gwen's egg chair so as to brighten her day, but she is utterly enraged by their efforts, so they must fix their mistake.
I'm going to need you to reread that because I think there was either a word missing or the grammar wasn't right.
Yeah, I got confused too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
you need to read that again.
I think the grammar's not right.
Read it again slowly.
Yeah.
Izzy and Owen attempt to give Gwen's egg chair so as to brighten her day, but she is utterly enraged by their efforts, so they must fix their mistake.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know what is happening here. Are they giving Gwen an egg chair, and she is upset about that? Are they doing?
Are they giving an egg that Gwen owns its own chair, like a tiny chair, to put the egg on the chair?
Did they miss a makeover? Is an intent to give Gwen's egg chair a makeover, but she is utterly enraged? I don't know what this is supposed to mean, and it enrages me.
I found a different synopsis. Hoping to, quote, brighten her day, end quote, Izzy and Owen pimp out Gwen's egg chair. When it ends up in a museum run by angry chickens, they must retrieve it before Gwen destroys the daycare in a temper tantrum of unspeakable darkness.
Oh my god!
Wait, so much, they left out so much in the Wikipedia. Like, it's not even the chickens that seem like the chickens was the one that like really set me off, but then the temper tantrum of unspeakable darkness is fucking wild.
That is such a metal fucking thing to say for a toddler.
Maybe I gotta find my synopsises from other places.
I'm actually
That has to be the best one.
I'm actually
That has
crying.
to be the best one thus far.
Oh my god.
That is insane. Like, I don't think I've ever. I don't think I have.
Darkness.
I don't think I've ever wanted to watch a single episode until now. Like, now I need to fucking see this shit. Like, what the fuck they're doing with the show. This is a season 2 one?
Season 2, episode, I think it was 5? Season 2, episode 5, it's episode 56 in total. And Egg, extremely bad idea. Maybe this one stands out because it was written by Lori Elliott, who I do believe is, like, one of the original creators.
I think you're correct.
So,
No, she's not. She.
Oh.
I think she's the wife of somebody who's in charge.
Something. She did voice a character from Revenge of the Island.
Well, she was also the writer for Clockwork Orange, so maybe there's a
there you go.
Maybe
going on.
something with chickens. Just
Oh my god! Are we now like surfacing the fact that this writer is just obsessed with chickens and is inserting them whenever they can, or are they trying to build on lore established with the chickens in Clockwork Orange and had to continue said lore in this episode? My goodness gracious, there's a lot to unpack in Total Drama Rama.
it's insane.
Season 2 just seems like it's gonna be fucking. It just seems like it's gonna be just batshit crazy. Like, people actually like this shit. Let's just up the scale.
You need to save some of these so that they're like spurced out, so we don't get all the good ones right in a row and waste them.
I didn't even think that one was gonna be that good.
Yeah, no,
I just thought it was like an egg chair.
The thing is, I feel like I like the fact that Matt doesn't read them ahead of time. I'm okay if there's some dull ones near the end. Like,
I do read it ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
But like, I just all I had to work on was the Wikipedia version. I didn't know.
This is my favorite segment of any podcast.
Oh my god.
God.
This has been the Dock of Shame podcast. Egg. See you all, egg. The Dock of Shame podcast is brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter @Dock of Shame and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.